Early in the morning, a mother named Anna is awakened by her young son, Jane. Jane wants to go swimming in the pool, but Anna reminds him that she has to go to work and he has to go to kindergarten. While they are talking, Anna hears loud thunder and goes to the window to investigate. It is raining heavily outside, and the street is beginning to fill with water, though Anna initially decides to continue with her normal daily routine. As Anna prepares breakfast, she receives a phone call from her mother, who is checking on her safety. Anna assures her that everything is fine, but she soon hears a strange noise coming from the bathroom. When she turns around, she is shocked to see that water is already covering the floor of her apartment. The city has flooded so rapidly that the water level outside has already reached her window. An announcement from the building management office informs residents that the floodwaters have reached the lower floors of the complex. All residents are ordered to evacuate to the upper floors, but the elevators are no longer in service. Anna begins to pack her things while the water continues to rise around her legs. During this time, she receives a call from a security agent named Hi-Jo, who says he is on his way to rescue her and urges her to go upstairs immediately. Suddenly, the power in the building goes out and the phone call is disconnected. Anna grabs a bag for Jane's medicine and finds him hiding in a closet because he is upset. After she calms him down, they leave the apartment and join a crowd of neighbors who are all trying to escape the rising water. Anna reaches the emergency stairs, but she finds them blocked by a large group of people and piles of debris. Anna realizes the stairs are impassable and decides to try another route, but she is horrified to see dead bodies floating in the water below. As she moves through the corridor of a different floor, she finally spots the security agent, Hi-Jo, looking for her. Before she can reach him, she notices that Jane has followed a crowd into another apartment. Anna runs inside to find him, but she stops when she sees a massive wave approaching the window. The massive wave breaks through the window and floods the apartment, hitting several people inside. This event triggers a memory for Anna of a previous car accident where she and her husband, Guan, were trapped underwater. Anna loses her bag in the surge and tries to retrieve it, but it floats away, forcing her to focus on finding Jane instead. Anna finds Jane's unconscious body in another room and attempts to escape through a door, but it is stuck. She eventually passes out from the lack of oxygen just as Hi-Jo arrives to open the door and pull them both to safety. They swim to a balcony where Hi-Jo performs CPR on Jane, successfully reviving the boy. Hi-Jo films the mother and son and sends a report to a company, confirming that their lead researcher is alive. As they move to higher ground, Hi-Jo explains that an asteroid recently hit Antarctica, causing the ice to melt and flood the entire planet. He reveals that the government kept this a secret because they could not stop the event, and humanity is now facing extinction. Anna learns that her company is not just an AI lab, but is actually working to create a new human race to survive the disaster. These new humans are artificial bodies with high intelligence, but they lack a completed emotion engine to make them fully human. Anna and her late boss were the primary researchers responsible for developing this emotional data. The group enters an apartment so Jane can use the bathroom, allowing Anna to use Hi-Jo's phone to call her mother for what might be the last time. Suddenly, a gas pipe in the kitchen explodes, filling the area with smoke and fire. They rush to the balcony to climb to the next floor to escape the flames. Hi-Jo climbs to the next floor and reaches down to take Jane. The boy struggles because he does not want to leave his mother, causing Anna to lose her balance and fall into the floodwaters below. While underwater, she remembers the car accident where her husband, Guan, handed Jane to her and told her to swim away while he stayed behind. Anna manages to reach the surface and hears a young girl named Jisoo crying for help from a trapped elevator. Anna tries to pry the elevator doors open but fails. She runs to find a tool, but she is frightened by a group of looters and is forced to hide. By the time she returns to the elevator, the water has risen too high, and the girl inside has stopped responding. Another large wave hits the building, pulling Anna back underwater once more. Eventually, Anna resurfaces on a staircase and reunites with Jane and Hi-Jo. Jane is unwell and needs his medication, which was lost in the water earlier. Determined to save him, Anna enters a random apartment and mixes a traditional remedy using kitchen supplies to stabilize his condition. Hi-Jo attempts to stop her, pointing out that the company can simply recreate the child using stored data, but Anna refuses to listen. Anna recalls a past conversation with her boss, Hi-Mo, where she admitted she did not feel suited for motherhood. Hi-Mo informed her that the company would eventually take the children away because the emotion engine project was complete. In the present, Jane tells Anna that he likes being sick because it is the only time she pays close attention to him. Soon after, the storm temporarily breaks, and the sun comes out. Hi-Jo informs Anna that she will be taken to a shelter, but Jane is not allowed to go with her. He reveals that his true motivation for helping her was to see how a mother would react to such a situation, as he was abandoned by his own mother as a child. As they talk, the sky darkens again, and the water begins to rise at an even faster rate. The trio rushes up the stairs to escape the rising water. Along the way, they pass a pregnant couple pleading for help, but Hi-Jo insists they ignore them to keep moving. When they reach the rooftop, a company helicopter arrives. Security guards immediately separate Jane from Anna, calling him Newman 77 and placing him in handcuffs. Anna begs for mercy, but Hi-Jo reveals that her former boss, Hi-Mo, did not actually die. She fled with her own child to avoid this exact situation. The guards proceed to sedate Jane and shave his head. When Hi-Jo tries to intervene, the guards shoot him down, revealing that there is no shelter and only Anna is meant to escape. The men cut open Jane's head to retrieve his data box before flying away with Anna. As the planet is submerged, 7 rockets carry the remaining scientists into space. A recorded message explains that the Earth will soon be hit by thousands of meteorite fragments, causing total extinction. To ensure humanity's survival, the project must be completed by perfecting the emotion engine. Anna proposes a solution, a simulation that forces a mother to attempt to save her child through extreme difficulties over and over again. Anna connects her mind to the simulation just as meteorites hit her rocket. She wakes up in her bed again, restarting the events of the flood. In this run, Jane cries and asks why he is 6 years old every day, implying he is becoming aware of the loop. Anna tries to save him, but she is eventually killed when a floating car strikes her from behind. The simulation resets once more, and a shirt Anna is wearing shows the number 787, indicating how many times she has failed. In subsequent runs, she tries different tactics, such as using a gun to threaten Hi-Jo or attempting to swim to other buildings. She also spends several loops trying to save Jisoo from the elevator, dying many times before finally succeeding in run 407. After saving Jisoo from the elevator, Anna takes the girl to an apartment to find dry clothes. Jisoo informs her that she heard looters talking about a child, prompting Anna to search for Jane in that direction. In this iteration, Anna is nearly killed by a looter who chokes her against a closet, but she manages to strike him with a hammer just before the simulation resets. Hi-Jo and Jisoo eventually arrive and help her overpower the attackers. Anna continues her search through thousands of iterations, now reaching simulation 7993. She encounters the pregnant lady from previous runs and stops to help her through childbirth, providing her own jacket to keep the newborn warm. This act of kindness makes Anna feel guilty about her past neglect of Jane, and she checks her phone to find thousands of drawings he sent her depicting his sadness over being abandoned. In simulation 13417, Hi-Jo finds Jane in an apartment, but it is a trap set by security agents to capture Anna. Anna warns Hi-Jo that he dies on the roof in every run, which triggers glimpses of past memories for him. Hi-Jo fights back against the agents, and a drowsy Anna uses a gun to save him before he can be executed. Anna explains the full truth to Hi-Jo, revealing that they have had this conversation many times and have failed to save Jane in every previous attempt. Hi-Jo encourages her, believing that Jane is still waiting for her. In simulation 21499, they engage in another firefight with the agents, and Hi-Jo stays behind as a distraction so Anna can find her son. Anna finally finds an unconscious Jane hidden inside an abandoned wardrobe on a higher floor. She tearfully apologizes for abandoning him, but Jane wakes up and reveals that she never truly left him. He explains that during the real event, she had instructed him to wait in the wardrobe and promised she would return, a promise she has now kept. Outside the simulation, the meteorite fragments hit the rocket and severely wound Anna. Before she dies, she asks the director to upload her mind into the system so she can remain with Jane. The scientists extract her memories and upload them, hoping her data will help the project succeed. In the simulation, the agents approach the roof just as a massive wave prepares to submerge the building. And he gives Jane his goggles and tells him to swim, allowing himself to be captured so he can escape. Flashbacks reveal that Jane was originally a printed human baby created for the AI experiment, which is why the company viewed him only as data to be retrieved. Although Jane was an artificial creation, his father figure, Juan, had bonded with him and cared for him as a real son. In the present, Anna manages to break free from the guards and jumps into the flood to reunite with Jane. She finds him holding onto an antenna, and they hug tightly as they are pulled under by the water together. The system analyzes Anna's actions, noting that she chose to help Jisoo, the pregnant woman, and stay with Jane until the end. Because she displayed a total lack of selfishness, the AI concludes that the emotion engine is finally perfected. The simulation is officially marked as successfully completed. With the project finished, the digital consciousnesses of Anna and Jane are placed into new synthetic bodies. They are sent on a spacecraft to a new planet to rebuild society, carrying the full range of human emotions and memories.